Hello, my dear students. How are you? Today we shall continue with our seminars. Today we shall have seminar 5, Morphological Structure of English Words. So far, we have discussed with you um, morphology and morphological structure in our lectures. And today we shall review this material and point out the morphological structure of English words. So its smallest units, morphs, allomorphs, root, and others. So we can consider that today's seminar is about the review of our lecture material. So morphological structure of English words. Let's start. So I will as always, I will explain you this thing by means of my presentation. So, morphological structure of English words. The word as an autonomous unit of the language system should be distinguished from another fundamental language unit, the morpheme. So, we have to distinguish the word from morpheme. So, a morpheme is an association of a given meaning with a given sound pattern, which makes it similar to a word. Unlike a word, a morpheme is not autonomous. Morphemes occur in speech only as constituent parts of words, can't be divided into smaller meaningful units, so it's defined as the minimum meaningful unit of the language system. So, morpheme is the minimum meaningful unit of the language system. Speech. According to the form, morphemes can be free, semi-bound, semi-free, and bound. Meaning, okay, in Uzbek, erkin morfemi hamda bog'langan yoki semi-bound, yarim bog'langan. Free morphemes are capable of forming words without adding other morphemes, which means that they coincide with the stems of or independent forms of words. For example, house, morpheme word, house, shoe morpheme, shoe word, bread morpheme, bread word. So sometimes morphemes and words can coincide with each other. Bound morphemes may not stand alone without a loss or change of their meaning. They are always bound to something else. It means that they do not coincide with stems or independent forms of words. For example, horror morpheme, horror. Agit morpheme, agitate. Nat morpheme, nation. Able morpheme, eligible. Pre morpheme, pre-war. Okay. Free and bound morphemes, prefixes and suffixes, jointly called derivational affixes, are always bound. Root morphemes may be both free and bound. Bound root morphemes are mainly found among loan words. For example, arrogance, charity, car, courage, distort, involve, tolerable, and etc. Semi-bound, semi-free morphemes can function in a morpheme sequence both as an affix and as a free morpheme. For example, the morphemes well and half can occur as free morphemes. For example, sleep well, half an hour, or as bound morphemes, well known, half gone. According to their role in constructing words, morphemes can be roots morphemes and comprised of roots and affixes morphemes. So root morphemes and affix morphemes. So these are types of morphemes. According to their role in constructing words, how they form words. According to their position in a word, affixes, prefixes, infixes, infixes, and suffixes. Affixes are divided into such kind of subclass. According to their function and meaning, affixes can be derivational, functional, mostly endings in inflections. Stem, uzek, When a derivational functional affix is stripped from the word, what remains is a stem base, özek. If a stem consists of a single morpheme, it is simple: heart, tag, month, red, etc. If a stem consists of a root and an affix, it is derived: hearty, tactual, monthly, reddish. If a stem consists of two root morphemes and an affix, it is compound: teaspoon, mother-in-law, dog owner, looking glass, etc. A root is the main morphemic vehicle of a given idea in a given language at a given stage of its development. It is the ultimate constituent element which remains after the removal of all functional and derivation affixes and doesn't admit any further analysis. It is the common element of words within a word cluster. For example, heart, hearten, disheartened, heartly, heartless, hearty, heartiness, sweetheart, heartbroken, etc. It's a root. The etymological treatment of root morphemes encourages a search for cognates, elements descended from a common ancestor. Heart, English; core, Latin; cardia, Greek; corazon, Spanish; hairs, German; serce, Russian, and etc. A suffix is a derivational morpheme following the stem and forming a new derivative in a different part of speech or a different word class. For example, luck, lucky, luckily. Ili are suffixes. A prefix, alt qo'shimcha, is a derivational morpheme standing before the root and modifying the meaning of the original word. Happy, unhappy; president, ex-president; argument, counter-argument, etc. Prefixes do not generally change the part of speech meaning of the resultant word. An exception to the rule is the formation of some verbs and statives. For example, friend, befriend; earth, unearthed; sleep, asleep, it's a stative. And so, prefix, alt qo'shimcha. An infix is an affix placed within the word. In stand. This type is not productive. Unchalik ko'p mahsuldor bo'lmagan. Combining forms. Affixes shouldn't be confused with combining forms. A combining form is a bound form that is distinguished from an affix historically by the fact that it is always borrowed from another language in which it existed as a free or combining form. Most combining forms were borrowed from Latin and Greek, however not exclusively, and have thus become international. For example, cyclop from kuklos, circle; cyclometer, cyclopedia, cyclic, bicycle, etc. Mal from French mal, bad; malfunction, malnutrition, etc. Compound and derivative words, which these combining forms are part of, never existed in their original language but were coined only in modern times. So, combining forms are mostly found in borrowed words. You have to keep it in mind. Morphemic and structural analysis of English words. So, while talking about morphological structure of words, we can't avoid morphemic and structural analysis of English words. In my previous seminars, in my video lessons, we learned the grammatical analysis of English words, and morphemic analysis and structural analysis are one of those grammatical analysis of English grammar, and they are the basic parts of. So, what are they? We shall review them. First of all, morphemic analysis implies studying the number and type of morphemes that make up the word. For example, girl, one root morpheme, a root word. Girlish, one root morpheme plus one affix, a derived word. Girlfriend, two stems, a compound word. Last minute, two stems and a common affix, a compound derivative. So you can see here. Structural word formation analysis. studies the structural correlation with other words as well as the structural patterns of rules on which words are built. Structural word formation analysis. A correlation is a set of binary oppositions in which each second element is derived from the first by a general rule valid for all members of the relation. Child, childish. Woman, womanish. Monkey, monkeyish. Spinster, spinsterish, and etc. Structural word formation analysis. This correlation demonstrates that in English there is a type of derived adjectives consisting of a noun stem and the suffix ish. The stems are mostly those of animate nouns. Any one word built according to this pattern contains a semantic component common to the whole word, namely typical of or having the bad qualities. So ya'ni ish bilan yasaluvchi hamda o'zaklar asosan jonli predmetlar va hokazo shu haqida gapiradi. Morphological analysis of English words. Asynchronic morphological analysis introduced by Leonard Bloomfield is accomplished by the procedure known as the analysis into immediate constituents. If you remember, we discussed immediate constituents method in our seminars and lectures. The main opposition here is the oppositional step and affix, which reveals the motivation of the word. Asynchronic morphological analysis, for example, ungentlemanly, gentlemanly, gentleman is so you can see here the word ungentlemanly was firstly subdivided into two big groups, on prefix and gentlemanly as root, and then gentlemanly was further divided into gentleman and lee. You see, we can't divide on and lee further, that's why it was left unchanged. Then we see gentleman, gentleman, the gentleman. So it's a morphological analysis. Asynchronic morphological analysis. On is split after the pattern on, adjective stem, uncertain, unconscious, uneasy, unhastily, untimely, unwomanly, etc. Lee is split following the pattern noun stem plus lee, womanly, masterly, scholar. Gentleman is split into gentle plus man after a similar pattern observed in nobleman, adjective stem plus the semi-affix man. Gentle is split into gent plus lee, following the pattern noun stem plus lee, brittle, fertile, juvenile, noble, subtle, little, etc. Asynchronic morphological analysis combinations, the constituents that allow further splitting into morphemes are called immediate. Gentlemanly, gentleman, gentle. Those that don't allow this are termed ultimate. Only gently man. So, immediate parts can be divided into parts and ultimate parts can't be divided into parts. The procedure of the analysis into immediate constituent is reduced to the recognition and classification of the same and different morphemes as well as same and different patterns. Thus, it permits the tracing and understanding of the vocabulary system. So, thank you for your attention. That was all about the morphological structure of the English words. So, here I have to say that we have to also note morph from allomorph, and we discussed this topic in my lectures. And in this presentation, we distinguished the difference between morpheme and word. So as you see, morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit of the language, speech, and word is it's not the smallest unit, it is comprised. It can be comprised of morphemes, or it can coincide with morphemes. So I hope you understood this lesson, and if you have any questions, you can address me on the Moodle platform, in the discussion platform. So that's all for now. Bye bye.